What's going and growing on, beautiful Facebook world? It's the being known as Shanice Star, coming all up in your space, my space, our space, to interrupt the indeed programming taking place. We are here with Perceptions Live, right? Keeping it consistent. Even on a Friday night. Friday's just a word. We turned into a day. Yet it should not predicate and dictate our levels of consistency within our lives. So I am going to see who is available to join us. And shout out to those of you who have been consistent within the Perceptions Live. Like, especially because I don't have a set time of day, when I come here. Yet we got some regulars in the building. Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. All right, beautiful people. These are indeed exciting times. These are indeed exciting times. Oh, it look a little ashy. Lives, I tell you. Right? Lives. All right, beautiful people. Let me see who's available. Let me stop playing around. No, let me keep playing around. Why not keep playing around? Why stop? Ooh, if only more of us laughed more and entertained ourselves more. I had a super amazing day today. Had some dope builds. Shout out to brother Nino and brother Mark. And I trust that everyone else had a very deliberate and amazing day today. And if not, there's still moments on the clock to do so. How about that? How about that? I'll be right with you, lovely lights. All right. Why, thank you, beautiful Melissa. You like the green on me? Vibes are high. Vibes are high. So, something that just came to me, some of you may not have your book out, right? Clearly. And that's okay, because these lives you can tune into, even if you don't have the book. Even if you don't have my baby. And yes, FYI, that is me on the cover. That is me on the cover. Yet, again, even if you don't have the book, you can participate in Perceptions Live. You do not have to have the actual book. For those of you who may have been missing some of our lives, I am being very deliberate. It took me like over a year to finally take action with regard to coming live with regard to the book Perceptions. Many of you, not even many of you, that's a lie. I have quite a bit of friends on Facebook, and no, many of you do not tune into Wine by Candlelight. Yet some of you tune into our Wine by Candlelight Perceptions Dialogues, which happen once a quarter. Yet we're going to be doing them once a month, moving into the winter months with the living room tour. Just the same, realizing that many people just don't read books anymore, right? Don't read books, and Perceptions is a book not only to study, yet it's a book to vibe with other people about. So it's like, okay, you have a social media page. Why don't you use your social media page as a platform? Use it as a tool, Shanice. You're always giving your triggers. Use it as a tool with your book, right? While you drink your detox tea. All right. Anywho, so the key here is I come live at any point throughout the day. I open up the book. I read a perceptions or a few perceptions, depending how I'm flowing. And we vibe on that perception. You can choose to comment down below, or you can choose to not comment down below, yet you can vibe internally. And that's the purpose of my book Perceptions. It is not for you to read the book to find out about Shanice Star. Although you will find out about Shanice Star, that's not the purpose of the book. The purpose of the book, as I believe with many things in life, is to learn about yourself as a result of participating in whatever it is that you're participating in, right? Learn about yourself as a result of the conversations that you're having, as a result of how you respond at work. What can you find out about yourself? So, as a result of me reading a perception, the key here is, what are your perceptions on the perception? What are your perceptions on the perception? And can you think of ways in which you could apply it in your life, or you have applied it in your life? You agree, you don't agree. The beautiful part about perceptions is you don't have to agree. That's why it's called the perception. All right, y'all. So let's get to turning of the pages. Let's get to turning of the pages. Hey. These are indeed exciting times for those of you that can hear. Oh, what I was about to say is it came to me where, for those of you who may be traveling with perceptions throughout the day, maybe, right? That there are times when I come live, you can say, yo, Shanice, read from page 50. Yo, Shanice, read from page 350. Yo, Shanice, read from page 10. Right? So just moving forward, some of you, again, if you have the book, you can tune in with me, like really, really tune in with me and go through the book. Or even if you're reading perceptions when I'm not live and there's one that you read and you're like, yo, Shanice, I would love to build on that perception. Hit me up in my direct message, right? In my box. Well, that didn't sound right. Hit me up in my box. Hit me up in my inbox on Facebook. And say, yo, read from page, etc., etc., etc. All right, so boop, boop, boop. I'm not looking consciously. We're gonna stop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I stopped. So we have opened up to page 174 and 175, right? And let's see which one we're going to read. Wow. I'm saying wow because for those of you who caught my live last night talking about transitioning and death, and that's the very first perception on this page. So I will read that one. I'm looking for another one, but I am going to read that one. I'm here. These are long perceptions. That's why, okay? All right, got it. So I'm going to read one from each page. Right, page 174 and 175. First perception, which is interesting as it relates to my live from last night, for those of you who tuned in. All right. I no longer fear dying. It is the fear of missing the people who would still be living. Then again, would I even remember anything to even miss anyone? And if I do remember, will I remember in a manner that is healthy and peaceful to my state of being on the level of existence I would be on at that time? Yeah, I prefer to think of it in that way. Alternative thinking can be bliss. Guess then there isn't anything to fear. Laugh out loud. Welcome to the world of my many thoughts. So, hi Haley. Thank you for tuning in, sweetie. I'm going to read that again, right? I no longer fear dying. It is the fear of missing the people who would still be living. Then again, would I even remember anything to even miss anyone? And if I do remember, will I remember in a manner that is healthy and peaceful to my state of being on the level of existence I would be on at that time, right? Not my current self. Yeah, I prefer to think of it in that way. Alternative thinking can be bliss. Guess then there is nothing to actually fear. Welcome to the world of my thoughts. Laugh out loud. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? That again, these are just thoughts that I've had over a decade, right? So it's a matter of how can you utilize this in your life? When you feel like you're about to fear something or think of a non-beneficial thought, or it has you feeling all icky on the inside, it's like, how about we just adjust the story? Adjust the story. How about that? That's how you can apply it. That's how we can apply that perception, right? So whether you're thinking about death, whether you're thinking about not getting the job, what's going to happen when I go under surgery, you know, how about we choose another thought, right? Or think another way about the thought, right? So that's how we can utilize that actual perception, is to change the story. Because remember, it is what it is until we tell a story about it. It is what it is until we tell a story about it. So just realize that you can tell a different story and then choose to tell a different story. So that's how we can apply that. You can apply it literally to death. If you're someone that's been experiencing a lot of death, a lot of transitioning, and you're feeling a certain way about it, just shift the thought, right? On this side of town, we call it flip the switch, right? Start applying the dimmer, right? So that's how we can utilize that perception. Recognition matters, right? Recognition matters. So, yes. Hi, Haley. All right. The next one I'm going to read is from page 175. This is a pretty long one. I'm going to read it anyway. It takes like most of the page. Right? All right. To recognize how amazing we are. And when I emphasize words like we, that means it's in capital or in bold. So, to recognize how amazing we are isn't to take anything away from how amazing our God is. That's like being in an earthly relationship and going back and forth saying who is greater, you or your partner. You both should be seen as great. It's that type of energy that has many feeling like God can do everything, yet they can't do anything. If one believes that God resides within them, then how can someone so amazing be within someone that isn't amazing? The two, I would think, couldn't successfully coexist, at least not for long. It's like when people say, what God did for me, he can do for another. Exactly my point. God could, so why doesn't, quote, he? Right. Because we do play a part in the God-I partnership. We do play a part in the blessings we receive from our God. Favor is something else. I am speaking about blessings. Faith without works is dead, quote. I hear people quote that all the time. Exactly. Who is God expecting to do the work? God doesn't walk, talk, think, or feel for us. God blesses us with the ability to do these things. Like I recommend to students of formal education, don't co-sign teachings that don't make sense to your mind or soul. This is one of the reasons why knowing thyself and being in tune is so key to live and be free. You don't just digest anything given or spoken to you. If one wants to speak unconsciously to themselves, hey, rock out. Yet maybe one should be more mindful of their words spoken when others are listening. Take responsibility of the position God allows you to have. Live consciously, live free. So that was a big perception. Yet take it how you want to take it, right? The key with perceptions is for it to cause you to self-inspect. So do you find yourself saying, right, all praise is due to the Most High. All praises, like all. So you don't take none of that? Like none of that has to do with you? Like your free will did not play a role in any of that? How does that work out? We mentioned that in The Pain of a Black Woman, right? So it's like, so we give God all the praise for our blessings, but then when stuff don't go right, do you still say all praise is due to the Most High when things don't go right? Or so you think they're not going right. Are you still saying all praise is due? So it's only all praise is due when it's great stuff, when it's blessings? Again, not here to say something per se is either right or wrong. Just think about what you're saying. Think about how you're thinking, right? So it's like, so the person that, isn't quote unquote blessed, right? The person that's going through turmoil or whatever. So their God fell asleep. No, possibly they're not doing something with their free will. Possibly. So just consider not just reciting things without dissecting what it is that you're saying, right? So my God could live within me, but I see myself as doing nothing. Like it was all God. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Who gave us free will? God, source, whatever title you want to use. Take out God, put source, whatever your belief system is. Yet so many of us wonder why we walk around feeling defeated, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, because we put so much energy into believing so much into things outside of ourselves that we leave nothing for ourselves. But in the same breath, we'll say, God is in everybody. God is in everybody. But you don't feel like you could do nothing. How does that work? So again, that was perceptions on 175 and 174. So again, I am just being consistent and deliberate within my flow. And I appreciate those of you who happen to chime in as I'm publicly working within my own development. So with that being stated, blessings to each and every one of you, whether you are live with me or whether you caught the replay. Blessings within your day known as a Friday. And be mindful of all the perceptions that you'll have this evening. Remember, it's just perceptions. It doesn't mean that it's truth. It's the being known as Shanice Star officially chiming out. Peace, love, and light.